Good morning everybody, welcome back to the channel. Right, I put a post on 2 or 3 days ago basically saying that there probably wouldn't be a video this weekend as I'd fallen victim to a stomach bug. This always seems to happen when I'm off work. I either fall ill or plans just get disrupted or fall apart. It never ever goes as I want it to. And this week has been absolutely no exception. So feeling a lot better this morning, so I thought I'd try to cobble something together for tomorrow morning. It probably won't be one of my usual 90-minute epics. I'm going to try and keep it to under an hour because I want to get it sort of edited and uploaded. So basically there's no sort of interruption to the schedule. It will be up hopefully 4 a.m. Tomorrow morning, which you will know this by now because you're all watching it. So yeah, it's not been the best of weeks so far. I've got some movies watched, but I'll come back to those a little bit later. But yeah, feeling a lot better this morning, so I thought I shall make an appearance. So right, first off I'll start with a shout out. I discovered a new channel thanks to Stuart George a couple of weeks ago, and I've been checking out some of his videos. Really impressed with his content. The channel's called Sammy G's World of Cinema. Sam's got a brilliant channel. It's absolutely amazing. He reviews sort of Blu-rays, DVDs. He's been showing off his Blu-ray collection. He also mentioned something, and Sam, if you're watching this, I would love to see this. You mentioned something in one of your videos, and I can't remember which one it was, to do with a video from your local cinema. I would love to see that. I would absolutely love to see that. If there's one thing I enjoy sort of reading about and watching, it's other people's local flea pits, as we used to call them back in the 70s. But yeah, if that's still on the cards, mate, I can't wait to see that one. You've got an absolutely cracking channel, as I say. Well impressed with your videos. Love the accent. I've been trying to place it. Where exactly are you from? I absolutely love Sam's accent. But your reviews are brilliant. I enjoyed your thoughts on Ken Russell's The Music Lovers. Was it called Music Lovers? Yes. So as I've got it next to me now, I actually ordered a copy of that on Blu-ray on the back of that review, which I was probably going to do anyway, but your review definitely tipped it for me. And I also enjoyed your review of Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan. So yeah, looking forward to seeing more content from you. If I think on, I shall put a link to your channel in the description of my video. I've also popped your channel on my recommended channels section on my page. So yeah, well impressed, mate. Keep up the good work. Love it. Right, I'll start with comments. We can't go wrong with comments, can we? Or so we say. Just bear with me. There we go. Stuart George. Morning, Stuart. Just off now, mate. That's all I got. You're on holiday. You're in. You did put a video on yesterday, and you did tell me where you were, but I can't remember where it is. It's Greece, I think, one of the Greek islands. But yeah, that's all I got from you. Just off now, mate. So I hope you're enjoying your holiday. That little video you popped on of the waves lapping at the beach. Oh my God, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, have a good time, mate. Looking forward to when you come back and accept that little challenge of mine of the 5 horror movies that are non-franchise. I'm looking forward to seeing that one whenever you get round to that. So thanks for that, Stuart, much appreciated. David Mansell, morning Dave. Love the intro, very funny. I yeah, basically fucked it up for the first 20 seconds and thought, you know what, it's only one, I'll stick it on. So, and David obviously liked it. So great video as always, and keep up the good work. Cheers, David, much appreciated. Dave Lowe, morning Dave, morning Dave. Great video, Tony. I can confirm the Blu-ray included with the 4K of The Last Dragon is region free. So no matter what version you grab, all the discs will play fine. As for the soundtrack, including loads of Motown artists, the actual movie is from Motown Productions. I didn't know that. I have got a copy of The Last Dragon. It's not a Blu-ray or a steelbook or anything like that. I've just managed to find it, if you know what I mean. So I will be taking a look at that. I'm hopefully going to take a look at it this afternoon. So when I do, I shall do a little standalone review of that. I'm fairly sure I'm going to like it. I'm a fan of the 80s cinema that I've seen, and I do like that era of cinema as nearly as much as the 70s. So I'm fairly sure that I will enjoy The Last Dragon, but I shall give you my thoughts when I've actually got round to watching it. Steve Mack, our Criterion guy. Morning, Steve. I did like The Shallows with Blake Lively. Good shark film. We were talking about shark movies. I think I was telling everybody my thoughts on Under Paris on Netflix, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I remember seeing The Shallows quite a while back. I did enjoy it. I just thought the ending was a little bit ludicrous. I can remember it clearly. I'm not going to spoil it in case people haven't seen it, but I just thought it was absolutely ridiculous. But the rest of the movie was good. I really enjoyed it. Caligula has been announced. I know. A whopper set from Umbrella on 4K, multiple cuts. It won't be cheap. 150 Australian dollars, but it's all region free. You might be tempted. I am more than tempted, mate. I actually looked it up on Umbrella's website and I did a currency conversion. It actually works out about 75 pounds. They also do a thing whereas if you order $100 worth of, or is it £100 worth? I can't remember. Or is it 200? Could be 200. $200 worth of goods, you get your shipping free. Whether that applies to the UK or not, I don't know. I need to look into it, but I have looked at that so many times and I'm very, very dangerously close to hitting that purchase button. So don't be too surprised if I come on here in a couple of weeks and say, I've done it. So, but it's a beautiful set. You get everything in there. There's like books, magazines, probably 4 or 5 different cuts of the films, art cards. There's all sorts in there. It's one hell of a set. I mean, if I thought for 1 second that it was going to be released in the UK as that set, I would hold on. But I think we both know that's probably not going to happen. So if you want the ultimate sort of Caligula box set, that's obviously the one to go for. But yeah, watch this space. Motown King Berry Gordy, affectionately known as Pops, executive produced The Last Dragon, hence all the Motown artists featured. Didn't know that. The only one I know that's on the soundtrack is because I think I ended up buying it back in the 80s. Rhythm of the Night by DeBarge. Do you remember that one? So I'm looking forward to hearing that on the soundtrack. What else is on there? I have no clue, but I'm hoping to find out later today. Blowout is modelled on Blow Up, the 1960s film by Michelangelo Antonioni. I've never seen Blow Up. I've always meant to have a look at it because I know it caused quite a stink with the censors in the 60s when it came out. Not sure why, and I want to find out, so I will be grabbing a copy of Blow Up, having a watch of that, and maybe doing it on a double bill with Blowout, which I did see Burton Odeon probably 1981 when it first came out. Really, really good movie. One of Brian De Palma's best. Let's see. You were saying only rather than sound, it was a picture that was featured. Yes, it was. Yeah, I know Blow Up is something to do with a photograph, an accidental photograph taken of a murder or something like that. And John Travolta's movie Blowout, or De Palma's movie Blowout, was more to do with a soundbite. So yeah, I need to watch both of those, definitely. It's one of De Palma's best, quite agree. Criterion in the UK will be releasing Blowout in 4K on July 22nd. I'll be covering it on Let's Talk Criterion. I'm looking forward to that, to hearing what your thoughts are on it sort of 45 years later. I can't believe it's that. Is it 40 years? 81, 91, 2001, 22. God, it is. It's 40 years plus. God, where did all that go? By the way, may the Schwartz be with you. I had to look that up. I didn't know because I've not watched it yet. That's a quote from Spaceballs, the Mel Brooks movie that I purchased last week, along with Robin Hood Men in Tights and what's the other one? Well, I've taken them upstairs now, so I can't tell you. But I had to look that one up. I wasn't sure what it was. And I looked the clip up on YouTube and thought, my God, that looks so good. I did see it a long, long time ago. But the only thing I can remember about it is John Candy in that kind of teddy bear outfit. Looks like a big fat Ewok. And the alien section at the end, where the alien bursts out of somebody and then does a little song and dance routine on the bar, which I thought was brilliant. That's about the only bit I can remember about it, so I'm looking forward to catching up with that. So thanks for that, Steve. Jason K, our Ginger Ninja. Morning, Jay. Another great vid. Cheers, mate. Are the joys of recording for YouTube. I never really have the place to myself, so I need to try and record when there is minimal sound happening. It ain't easy, is it? And it really bloody isn't. I was about to start this sort of 10 minutes ago, and a dog from probably 3-4 doors down decided to start barking. And I could hear it. I like to leave the door open because obviously it lets some fresh air in. I shut the door and I could still hear it. And I thought, God, this ain't going to happen. Then Maya, my dog, heard it and she started, and I thought, please no, not today. I need to get this done today. So, as it happens, both have stopped and she's behaving herself. I think she's fast asleep. So if you can hear snoring, Mark, I do apologise. I think she's fast asleep next to me. But just finding the right time to do it, Jay, is just downright impossible. Normally, I will do it on a Sunday morning, really ridiculously early. I'll start recording if I can, sort of 6-7 o'clock, and I like to have it all done sort of by 8 o'clock, 1:30, which is when people start milling about and coming out of the houses and doing stuff and disrupting, basically. So, but the best laid plans and all that. I was going to do it this weekend, Sunday, and I thought, you know what? I've got the whole week off. I can do it another day during the week. And then fate stepped in. And that plan tried to path into oblivion, never saw it again. So that's why I'm doing it now. But no, I do get it, mate. It is so bloody difficult finding the right time to actually do it. You were putting, unfortunately, we have a neighbour who enjoys using power tools. Oh, Christ. All day, every weekend. And then at weekends, he also invites friends around. Very annoying. I am kind of lucky with that. The neighbours on one side don't usually make too much noise, and the neighbours on the other side, I never hear from them. The only time I ever hear from them is when the front door slams when they're going out, which is normally what sets her off. So I am quite lucky with that. But no, I wouldn't want that, mate. Definitely not. Oh, you have a problem with door knockers? I do. I very much do. I used to do that for a living, but it was for video stores, cinemas and pubs, so who could say no to that? See, that wouldn't bother me. That absolutely wouldn't bother me. But if it's trick-or-treaters, or as it has been these last few weeks, bloody candidates for the general election, for Christ's sakes. What else we had? Let's see, double glazing. Oh, you name it. I think, Jason, you were talking about it last week, repairing guttering, and I just don't want it. If I want something, I will go out and I'll buy it. I do not want people knocking on my door trying to sell me things I actually don't want or need. So yeah. But if it was something to do with a cinema or video stores, I'd probably have a little chat with them. Like you, I still need to watch Jurassic World Dominion. I just have not had the desire to watch it. I wouldn't say I've not had the desire to watch it. I want to see it, but I'm not holding out much hope that it's going to be much cop. I'm going to have to bring it down and put it next to the TV. There's a couple of others that I need to get through this week that I promised I would watch. I need to finish the Spider-Man, not Tobey Maguire, what's his name, Tom Holland trilogy. I've got the last one to watch, and I'm hoping to get through today alongside The Last Dragon. But Jurassic World Dominion, it didn't get very good reviews, as I remember. It didn't do very well at all, as far as reviews go. So it's not one that I'm overly bothered about. I don't feel the need to go rushing up and putting it on straight away, which is why I couldn't quite understand why we're going in for another trilogy. But who knows? They may, reboot it, reinvent it, and bring it out kicking and screaming. Who knows? We'll see. It took me 3 or 4 goes to actually get through Sharkenstein and Bigfoot versus Zombies after turning it off. Sharkenstein wasn't even 5 minutes in. Bigfoot versus Zombies maybe 10 minutes. Were they worth it? No, they were not. We were talking about turning movies off before they were actually finished, and I was saying that I can't remember the last time I actually turned a movie off halfway through, or even 3/4 of the way through. I will always try to see it through to the end, no matter how bad it is. Our Jay is very, very different. He gives it something like 15, 20 minutes, and if it's no good, off it goes. So, yeah, I do kind of get that. Maybe I should be a little bit more discerning um, with what I'm watching and what I'm watching all the way through, rather than feeling obliged to sit through the whole thing, even if it's crap. Maybe I get more movies watched that way, who knows. I adore The Strangers. I'm not a fan of the sequel. I don't see the need to remake it. I will watch it and decide then, but I'm not holding my breath. I was actually quite pleasantly surprised. It wasn't that bad. What your opinion of it will be, I'm not sure. It's not what you would call balls out horror, but it unnerved me a little bit. But the original did. Um, I'm not a great fan of home invasion movies. Um, I think I was going to explain this, wasn't I, at one point? But I basically was burgled probably about 15, maybe 20 years ago, and I was asleep upstairs at the time. The first I heard of it was when I heard my car start up out front. This would have been about 3 o'clock in the morning. My car started up, and it used to make a very distinctive sound when it started up. Straight off, I knew it was my car, and that's it. Saw these little swines driving off, and it came down, and they turned the place over. So home invasion movies pretty much terrify the shit out of me. So The Strangers kind of trod on a corn, let's say. They touched a nerve. So yeah, I try to steer clear of home invasion movies if I can, for obvious reasons. Challenge Tony time. Oh God, The Raid. I've heard about The Raid. I used to work with a guy who worshipped that movie. Bone-crunching Malaysian action movie with some of the best martial arts I have ever seen. Not selling me on it. But I tell you what, challenge accepted. I'll track a copy down. I'll grab it and I'll take a look. Or Boy Kills World. Oh my God. Bloody and violent, but a lot of fun. You're not kidding. I haven't seen it. I did get a copy of it. I looked it up on the Parents Guide. Sorry guys, but I did. I wanted to watch it, but I thought I'm just going to have a look and see. And I read through it and I thought, no, oh God, no. Oh, definitely not. No, no, no way, no way. I'll give it some thought, but I'm not holding that much hope on that one. But if it's a challenge, I will do it. So leave it with me. I actually deleted it off my hard drive because I thought there's no way I'm ever going to watch it. But now you've challenged me to it, I guess I'm going to have to. There's always the mute button, isn't there, in the fast forward. So leave that with me, Jay. John Wick. There is a chapter 4 too. There is. It's a 3-hour epic as well. The set that I borrowed from a guy at work, Morning Lee, he'll be getting that back on Monday. I've watched the first one, which I'll be giving my thoughts on in a separate video. You wanted more little standalone short review videos, so that's probably going to be one of the first ones. Let me just centralise myself. I always do this. There we go. And what I've decided to do is purchase the other 2, 3 and 4 on Blu-ray, because they're basically on Amazon for ridiculous prices, £2 something. I thought, you know what, I might as well have those. Even if I don't enjoy them, I can give them away. I quite enjoyed John Wick, but I'll come back to that one in a separate thing. But you're right, there is a chapter 4, and it's a long one. So enjoyed your Incredible Melting Man review, by the way. I remember going to see that, as I think I stated on the group, on a double bill with a movie called The Savage Bees. They were both certificate AA, which was over 14s. I just remember thinking how incredibly gory and violent Incredible Melting Man was. The Savage Bees was quite tame compared to that. This is my copy. It's an Arrow. There are loads of special features on this. I've not had a chance to take a look at it yet. I bought this probably 2-3 months ago, and I do want to have a look at it, but that's my copy, my Arrow copy. I know it's available on YouTube, but I really wanted sort of a Blu-ray copy of this. This took some getting hold of as well. I think it's deleted now, and I believe I paid about £17-18 for it. I don't think the sleeve is in the best condition, or the case wasn't, so I actually swapped the case over. But yeah, that's all the the bits on it. But it's a cracking movie, as you say. It's as gory as hell. Acting is questionable, as you said. I never noticed that doctor introducing himself all the time. But I haven't seen that movie. It would have been, the last time I saw it would have been on VHS. So that would have been you going back 40 plus years. So I do need to take a look at it, but I can't remember the doctor introducing himself, but I'm definitely going to notice it now you've pointed it out. So yeah, cracking review, mate. Look forward to your next trashy Tuesday. And I'm just starting to catch up with your Hellraiser reviews. I've done 1 and 2. I'm going to come on to Hellraiser 3 Hell on Earth, hopefully later today. And then we get into the interesting ones, which are the ones that Callista said are pretty rubbish. I think you enjoyed Bloodline, which I believe is the 4th one, but I think after that the wheels come off a little bit. So I'm looking forward to seeing the reviews of the later ones. So I will be catching up with those. But great to hear from you, Jay, as per usual. Got an interesting article for you, actually, that I'm just writing for the website about Australian cinema. So I'll tag you in that when I publish that on the group. I've decided to take a little wander into the world of Aussie cinema, mainly on the back of a podcast that I listened to probably a couple of weeks ago, and it's ignited an interest in cinema from down under. But I'll tell you more about that on the next one. I'm trying to save a few things for Sunday because I've not managed to put much together for this one. So anything that I come up against that I can talk about, I'm holding off on so that I've got something to talk about on Sunday. So I shall let you know when that hits, Jay. Mark, morning, Mark. Is Jason older than me? For fuck's sake, yeah. You're very touchy about this. If I remember from previous conversations, by about 12 or 13 years, I think even at the age of 39, out of the usual suspect, inverted commas, in the group, I'm probably the youngest. Just a boy then. Ash vs Evil Dead is brilliant, just as good as the movies. Callista, I also enjoyed your video showing off your Necronomicon book. Brilliant. It was a cracking video, and I still want one. I daren't go anywhere near Freak Treats, especially if I've got my debit card on me, because I will walk out with it, I guarantee you. I will have a look at Ash vs the Evil Dead. I've stuck it on my Netflix watch list, and it's quite near the beginning, so I can't miss it whenever I go on to stuff that I need to watch. So I will take a look at that. I get the feeling Rob might like it, so I'm going to hold off on that, possibly for a Saturday night view. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Not very complimentary about this one. 50s black and white sci-fi classic. That's your reason right there why I've forgotten about it. It is a classic, Mark, it really is. And the remake, I think, is as good, if not better, than the original. It stars Donald Sutherland. You've got Leonard Nimoy in there. I can't remember the name of the lead. The actress, can't remember. Not Margot Kidder, it's the other one. Karen, no, can't remember. I'll have to look it up. You know what? 50s sci-fi is not everybody's bag, and I know that. I love it. I love all these old 50s sci-fi monster movies, 50s and 60s horror movies. Anything that's in black and white, I'm there. So yeah, it's just my thing. I do enjoy it. The golden age of horror, which is all the Universal monsters, sort of Dracula, Frankenstein, the Creature from the Black Lagoon, the Invisible Man. I will watch those all day long, mainly because they were a part of my growing up. Saturday evening, BBC Two used to do horror double bills, which everybody of a certain age will remember, and they all started off usually with a black and white Universal monster movie, followed by something like a Hammer movie, or a sort of an early 70s gore fest, something like that. And they were absolutely brilliant. As I say, everybody of a certain age remembers the Saturday horror double bills on BBC Two. They'll always remember them. So that's probably where I saw Invasion of the Body Snatchers for the first time, along with other classics like Tarantula, The Thing from Another World, Them, the one about the giant ants. Absolutely brilliant. Pixar movies. My favourites are the Toy Story movies, Up and Monsters Inc. I need to get a Pixar movie watched. I'm torn between 2 or 3 at the moment. Toy Story is 1, There was another one that somebody mentioned to me. What was it? Finding Nemo. I think Jason comes on to this a little bit later, basically saying that they look stunning on HD. So it's going to be a bit of a choice between Toy Story and Finding Nemo, I think, for my very first Pixar film. Whether I'm going to follow it up and watch all the rest, I do not know, because they're not really my thing. But the challenge was issued by Mr. Joe Raven, Money Joe, a couple of weeks back, and I've not had a chance to do it yet. So I will be taking that in, or one of them, and I shall let you know how I get on with it. If you're going to watch John Wick, then you might as well watch the Continental series as well. I watched the trailer for the Continental a couple of nights ago and thought it looked amazing. So yes, I will be adding that to my watch list. I can't remember whether it's on Prime. I think it's Prime. I think it's listed on most websites as having 6 episodes. On Prime, it's 3, but the 3 episodes are 90 minutes long and possibly longer. So I reckon they've cobbled together 2 episodes to make a longer one, and they've done that 3 times, which is why it's only listing 3 episodes. I hope so, because I'll tell you what, I shall be really miffed if I get to the end of the 3rd episode and then find out there's a 4, a 5 and a 6 which ain't on Prime, and I've got to pay for them. I should be really pissed if I find that one out. So thanks for all that, Mark, much appreciated, mate. Let's see, Callie. Here we go. Saturday morning Tony time. For once I'm on the ball and actually watching and commenting on a Saturday morning. It's not easy, Callie, I know it isn't. You've got a lot going on in your life. We all have. So it's difficult enough to sort of, keep control of your own videos. You've got to find time to research them, get your notes together, record them, edit them, upload them, and all this. So I know it's not easy. So like I said last week, please don't worry about not being able to watch videos and this, that and the other. It really doesn't matter. I do this pretty much every week, so you will always find one coming along very, very shortly, so please don't worry. Confession time, I'm not a fan of Never Ending Story either. Really? Just found them to be a bit dull. No, it's not everybody's thing, is it? Strictly speaking, it's probably not mine really, but it's more of a kids film, family friendly type of thing, which I've kind of warmed to mostly over the last few years. I think I've mellowed a lot. They basically fill the gap left by all this ultra violent stuff that I can't watch anymore, and which people are now challenging me to watch. So I tend to watch a lot more, not so much family friendly, but not quite so horrible type films. So I kind of get that. Don't worry about appearing on Higgis Hunt or something. There's absolutely no rush, Callie. There really isn't. Next season we'll do just fine, or whenever. As you say, you've got your stuff to do. I've got my stuff to do. So we shall collide at some point, I'm sure. Netflix and Apple might not release their films on DVD, but Hulu do. Hulu do. Sorry. But Hulu do. Both Prey and Hellraiser remakes are both available on DVD and HMV. Just saying. Yeah, I've already talked about Apple not releasing their movies on sort of DVD or Blu-ray, and the fact that I'm not prepared to pay for movies. Well, for a channel that I'm only going to watch 2 or 3 items on it. And I've already been told by 1 or 2 people that there isn't a massive amount on Apple TV. I will at some point take a look and see what's on there, but I'm not going to subscribe to it for the sake of 2, possibly 3 movies. But yeah, Hulu have got some sense then if they are actually releasing their movies on physical media. From Dusk Till Dawn is one of my favourite Quentin Tarantino films. Starts like a crime caper, but then takes a violent turn into horror. I really do need to take this in. It's on Prime. I've added it to the watch list, the ever-growing watch list. So I will definitely be taking that in. Right, I'm halfway through Callie's comment. I'm going to be back in a second because I'm nearly hitting 30 minutes already. So back in a tick. And we're back. Right, where were we? Callie's comment. I'm definitely looking forward to watching Axel F. Loved the first 2. The third was okay. totally with you on that one. I do possibly need to revisit the third one. I've only ever seen it once. Don't remember being overly impressed by it. I think Dave Lowe, you commented last night on somebody else's post that you thought the third one was okay. So that's actually made me want to take another look at it, to make sure I'm not doing it a terrible injustice by calling it not that good. So I will be taking in that one. And while I'm about it, I probably will take in the first two again. I watched the original on one of the Sky channels, bumped into about it must have been about 30-40 minutes in, and I ended up watching the whole thing. So yeah, absolute masterpiece, absolutely brilliant. And I'm sure I remember the second one being hugely enjoyable. This is the one with Brigitte Nielsen, if I remember right. So that's another one I need to take a look at. But yes, I will be having another look at the third instalment, just to see whether it's either improved with age or whether I got it completely wrong. Let's see. I do worry about missing vids, Hon. I like showing my support for you and your channel, which you do. You absolutely do. But as I've said before, you really don't have to worry about sort of watching everyone or commenting on everyone. I do this thing every week, so just sit up a bit. I seem to have sank down. Oh, that's better. Or shall I just move the camera down a bit? I think that's better. We'll see how we go. Yeah, please don't worry, Kelly. Honestly, it's not that important. You do show your support for me. You mention the channel pretty much on every one of your videos. You talk about me on pretty much every one of your videos, which absolutely shows support. Even if you are comparing me to a cleaning droid. Which I suppose if people at work found that out, they'll find it quite amusing. But I need to check out Red Dwarf definitely to find out what this Crichton is all about. So yeah, please don't worry about that. Honestly, you do show your support, and I will always be grateful for that. So please don't worry. You will love Turner and Hooch, a buddy cop movie with a dog. If it's got a dog in it, I probably would enjoy it. I'll check that out. I'm guessing it's going to be on Disney Plus. It sounds like one of their kind of films, so I'll have a look, and if it is, I'll add it to the watch list. I have the Crazies remake on DVD. You are welcome to borrow it, hon. Beating you to it. I actually got this before I read that. I actually bought this on the back of what you were saying about it. On your reply to, was it on reply? I can't remember. But you were basically saying that this is how a remake should be and how it should be made. And I thought, you know what, I need to see that. Even though I've got the George Romero original version, if you're saying this is good, and believe me, you know your stuff on horror, I will definitely give it a go. So I went straight on Amazon, and I think I got this for about £3, which is more than worth it. So I appreciate the offer, sweetheart, but there you go, that's all in hand. And I shall let you know what I think of that. I'll probably do a standalone review of it. I'm slowly coming round to the fact that I need to do more of these little standalone videos. I think Jason, JK, you were encouraging me to do more of them. Just short, sort of 1-2 minute little vids, where I don't have to go into too much detail about who's in it, what the plot is, and just basically tell people what I thought of it. So yeah, that will be almost certainly a standalone review when I've actually got round to watching it. So I'm going to sit and watch Jason Kerr's Hellraiser episodes all in one go, and we'll comment on his vids too. I'm up to I think Hellraiser 3 Hell on Earth is the next one I've got to watch. This morning I watched his review of The Incredible Melting Man, which was very entertaining. Really enjoyed that one. Mr. Fibble is a penguin, that's all I'm saying. I can't remember what that was about. I do remember the name Mr. Fibble, and I remember being puzzled about who's Mr. Fibble, but I can't remember what it was connection with, and I keep moving this bloody camera. I'm trying to get myself central, but it's not working. So I don't know. I'm going to have to go back. You maybe just tell me what Mr. Fibble is in. I'll probably get it then. Supernatural has 15 seasons on. It's a hell of a mountain to climb. I've got so many things going on movie wise and TV wise at the moment. I daren't take on another one, but if I'm ever looking for a very long drawn out series, that's one I'm probably going to go for, because I know you and Guy love it. So it is a possibility. I believe it's on one of the streaming channels at the moment, isn't it? So maybe I could just fit in one episode a week or something. Um, NECA are really good at likenesses. They've done the classic Universal monsters in colour and in black and white. I was so impressed with those two that you showed off. I think it was the Christopher Lee and the Peter Cushing, or was it Vincent Price? Absolutely brilliant. They've come on so much since I remember sort of figures, and you will remember sort of back in the sort of the 90s and early 2000s. They just looked like dollies, but they didn't look like who they were supposed to look like. And if they weren't dressed in the costumes that they were in, you probably wouldn't have realised who they were supposed to be. So they've certainly come on leaps and bounds. Those two figures look absolutely amazing, and I've got to admit, those two, I would not mind those. I would not mind those. So I will be keeping an eye on that. So if you do sort of give me the heads up when they are actually released, and I'll take a look at them on the site wherever you get yours from, and I'll give it some serious thought. I've hit the hour mark. I'm going to take a break and watch the last 25 minutes later today. As always, Son, thank you for the love and support. Another great episode. Thanks, Callie, and you are more than welcome. So thanks for that. Jason P, morning, Jay. I'm tagging you in this so you see it before you record Sunday morning, as it happens. It's now Friday morning, so you had nothing to worry about. Another cracking video, mate. Cheers, Jay. Notes taken, so good to go. Trading Places is not necessarily a Christmas movie, but is set at Christmas, same as Die Hard. I only watch it at Christmas, as I have only ever watched it when it was on at Christmas, and I've tried to make sure I watch it every Christmas. I even have the original artwork poster framed and on my wall. That's how much I appreciate this movie. I need to see this. I love that poster, by the way. You did put a picture on. Looks amazing, absolutely looks amazing. So yeah, I do need to check out Trading Places. It's a title that keeps coming up and coming up and coming up. So it's on, I believe it's Disney Plus, so I will be taking a look at that. I've got to get my viewing into some kind of an order. I really do need to do that, because I'm just randomly picking titles from the air and thinking, I'll watch that, and I'll watch that, and I'll watch that, and before I know it, I actually get nothing watched. So yeah, Trading Places is definitely high on that watch list. Longest Yard is a remake of Burt Reynolds' original Longest Yard Mean Machine movie. It also has Burt Reynolds in it. I do remember vaguely the original movie. I believe it was called The Mean Machine. I don't think it was called The Longest Yard, was it? This would have been about 1974 or 5, I think. And it's one that I would now very much like to see, being a fan of 70s cinema. So leave that one with you. That's yet another one I need to get hold of. Foreigner is indeed a great film starring Jackie Chan and Pierce Brosnan. I do remember watching the trailer for that and thinking, my God, that looks dark and brooding for a Jackie Chan film. They normally look sort of bright and fun and action-packed and this, that and the other. This looked not very nice. But it is a movie that I fancy taking a look at. So yet again, another one I can add. I'm sure you'd remember, if you'd seen From Dusk Till Dawn or not, get it watched. And that last Spider-Man, for fuck's sake. It's on the agenda for today. The last Spider-Man, or at the very latest tomorrow afternoon. So I do need to wipe that out and get those watched, and then also decide whether I'm going to take in the animated movies Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, is it? We're split down the middle on that one. Some people say yes, you do need to watch it, they're absolutely brilliant, and some are saying don't bother, they're rubbish. But I did take a look at a couple of minutes of one on Sky Cinema in UHD. I've got to admit, it looks stunning. It looks absolutely stunning. But I'm not a great fan of multiverse movies. They lose me completely. My old head can't cope with it. So I will be taking a look at, well, almost certainly be taking a look at them, but whether they'll actually make any sense, I don't know. And I believe there's a third Spider-Verse movie animated on the way. So yeah, leave that with me. That's going to happen. The Vicar Blu-ray, the Breakout edition, was released last year or the year before. It was $19.99 when it was released brand new. I have the DVD, so I won't be getting the Blu-ray, although I thought if it came down to a fiver I may be tempted, but the bloody thing is going up in price. It is. It cost me 24 quid. And I do remember it first coming out, as you say, when was it? Last year or the year before? And it was something like $19.99. And for some reason this has shot up in price, and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to grab that before it goes up even more. Now I've not watched it yet, but I've seen it many, many times, so I don't need to rush to watch that one. That's definitely a Saturday night with a pizza movie, absolutely. But yeah, it's unusual that it's going up. It's going to be a collectible at some point soon, I'm sure. Beverly Hills Cop Day for us is July 3rd, which was yesterday. Was it the day before? So the first three are on Netflix, so that saves me pissing about swapping my DVDs over. I don't need to bother with that because I've got them. I bought this set on Blu-ray, which is all three, 1, 2, and 3. So I will be doing a review of Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F, a separate standalone review, basically after I've finished filming this, to let you know what I thought of it. I promised Dave Lowe I would not give any spoilers out on that one because he doesn't get a chance to watch it until this weekend. So don't worry, Dave. If there are going to be spoilers in it, I will warn you, so that you don't watch it before you've actually seen the film. But I don't think there's very much to spoil in it. It's a pretty routine sort of movie, but really well done. So I shall let you know what I thought of that, but I think you pretty much know what I thought. I think I'm about 12 or 13 years older than Mark. This age thing is getting... I'm 62, so I'm older than the bloody lot of you. And I wish I wasn't. We want to see you unboxing your air fryer just to see you faff about and struggle. Really? That's the only reason you want me to do it? That's what it's all about. We want to see the unboxing, where it is, and your first thing you cooked in it. Tony's air fryer tales. If I think on this morning, when I finish this, if I've got time, it's sitting behind me now. It's actually basically covered in piles of books and things. I think there's even a candelabra on it at the moment. So if I get a chance, I will do it. It's just setting the camera up and blah blah, you know what it's like. But if I get a chance, I will do that for you. I should have unpacked it by now. I've had the thing probably 2 months and it's still sitting in the box. I saw Carry On Columbus at the cinema. Just to say, I've seen a Carry On film on the big screen, albeit being crap. It was terrible. Which is why I really don't think they should be resurrecting them again. It can't possibly work. And as much as I love them, I'd rather have the memory of the original movies than these constant misfires. Even the TV ones, I think you said, were rubbish. They did some Christmas specials. They weren't brilliant. They really weren't. They're passable to watch at Christmas because they're quite festive, but as for being as good as the movies, nothing even comes close. And I mean, you watch them nowadays and you realise just how brilliantly written and performed they were. You can't possibly recapture that, especially not with today's comedians and sort of the atmosphere that they're going to be brought out in with all this woke nonsense going on. It can't work. But yeah, Carry On Columbus was truly terrible. Pixar movies, absolutely love the Toy Story movies. Yep. Also Monsters Inc. and Monsters University, Finding Nemo and Finding Dory, Up and Ratatouille. The Nemo movies on HD TV are something special, they really are. I actually didn't like Inside Out. I didn't like The Incredibles either, which everyone seems to love. Pixar, for me, have gone a bit downhill just lately, but that's just my thoughts. There are so many of them, Jay. That's why they've flooded the market with them. They've done the same with the Pixar movies as they seem to have done with the Marvel movies. It's just one after another. And if I was thinking of trying to take them all in, I'd have a love a job catching up with them now, which is why I'm going to be a bit choosy about the ones I actually watch. It's going to be the Toy Story after what you've said, Finding Nemo, or possibly both. But again, I'm in no hurry to do that. On the cinema thread thingy, this is you putting titles on the cinema screens. Loving it, by the way. It just came into my head. Some movies just have the name of the film name with a black background. Jason, why can't I remember this? I've been racking my brains trying to think whether I went to the Odeon and saw the cinema screen with the movie title on it. All I remember seeing is the curtains closed and the Miss Marple theme playing in the background, the music that was playing during the intervals and stuff like that. It used to have film themes. But for some reason, I cannot for the life of me remember this thing with the screen and the title being on it. You're going to need to remind me on this one. I don't know whether it's a memory thing or whether I just never saw it. I don't know. You said, I can't remember the last movie that did this. and it is how you see it. The opening credits of the film and the name of the movie coming up on the big screen. A bit of excitement too, as it's a movie you've probably been waiting for the last year or even 2 years, and now you're finally able to watch it. All I can remember is the curtains going and the BBFC card telling you what certificate it was. That, I swear, that's all I can remember. This must be something that flew so far under my radar. So I'm going to need a bit of a memory jogger on that one, mate. Glad you mentioned that fly buzzing near you. I thought it was in my room. I hate flies. It's horrible, isn't it? I just got this thing buzzing round me all morning. It was driving me nuts. I was in the front room. It was in there. Then it followed me in here. Damn thing. Never seen. Loving that thread, by the way, as you know. I'm on 47 at the minute and also have 2 Christmas ones, so we'll definitely hit the 50 mark, which isn't bad for the first 6 months, but it's hard to watch a film that has never interested you before, but we'll give it a watch just for the thread. But I've seen some really good films that I wouldn't have watched if I hadn't done this thread. Films that people know and love, and I couldn't understand why, but now I do. Told you. Mind you, you're always doing the same to me. You're always telling me I need to watch this because it's brilliant, or that's because it's brilliant. And then I do watch it and it's like, yes, it was actually. It was really, really good. I watched one a few weeks ago. The wife said, good film this, isn't it? I said, I've never seen it before. She said, all the films you've seen and you've never seen this one. So there you go. You're dying to know what this movie is now, ain't you? Yes, I am actually. Looking forward to tomorrow and finding out. Tell you what, I'll make it next week's Never Seen, which is tomorrow. So looking forward to that one, Jace. Have a great week, mate. Cheers, Jay. Never Seen it for this week was week 26 of 50, The Outlaw Josie Wales from 1976. Missouri farmer Josie Wales joins a Confederate guerrilla unit and winds up on the run from the Union soldiers who murdered his family. I've got to confess, I'm a huge Clint Eastwood fan, but I've never watched The Outlaw Josie Wales. But I will be watching it now. Another one for the watch list. Never in a million years would I have thought I'd ever watch a Western this old, but I did, and I actually enjoyed it. I surprised myself by how much I enjoyed it. Will I watch it again? Probably. Mark, you said brilliant movie, so you've seen it. Weren't you a fan of The Unforgiven, Jay? That was an oldish Western. Well, that's probably not that old, 1990 or something like that. So you're talking 30 years old. I'm sure you told me that you loved the Unforgiven, so you'll have to forgive me if I've got that wrong. So thanks for that, Jay. Much appreciated. Always good to hear from you. Let's see. Higgis. Latest episode of Higgis. Star Wars Expanded Media. I mean, there are comic books, there are DVDs, there are computer games, there are paperback books, hardback books, merchandise galore, what with figures and models and stuff like that. Where you even started with this, I can't even begin to imagine how you got into this. Let's see. Have I even made any notes on this? Oh, what a dick. I've written Higgis, Star Wars Expanded Media, but I made absolutely no notes on it at all. I did enjoy the episode. I finished watching it last night. And I've bought a couple of bits that, well, you basically inspired me to buy. I used to have these as a kid when the movie first came out. As you said, apart from the movies back then, all we had was comic books, all that sort of thing. And the action figures was an industry all on its own. But these are some books that I bought, and there are more to come, which I'll be showing off either next week or the week before. But do you remember this one? This is the original novelisation of the first movie, Star Wars, from The Adventures of Luke Skywalker, the greatest film of the century. And this is when they used to put, let me get this, they used to put full of pictures in the centre with little scenes from the film. But I'm really, really looking forward to reading that again. I read this over and over and over again when I was a kid because, as we said, apart from going to the cinema to see it, this is all we had. And then Super 8 came along and we were able to own sort of 7 or 8 minutes of Star Wars condensed down onto a small reel of film. Which was, I believe the one that I bought was a 200-foot I believe it was colour silent, or was it black and white silent? Because you had the choice of black and white silent, colour silent, black and white sound, or colour sound. The most expensive was obviously colour sound. Couldn't afford that, plus didn't have a sound projector at the time. So I believe the one I had was either black and white silent or colour silent, and it was sort of 7-8 minutes of the film all condensed tied into one little film, little reel of film. And the other thing we had was these paperbacks, and I didn't just stop at that. I got The Empire Strikes Back as well, which I didn't read when it first came out. I did have the book, but I never actually got round to reading it, so I'm looking forward to having a browse through that. And finally, Return of the Jedi. Again, never read it. I do remember having this. I obviously gave it away or threw it out or something, and now I've got it back again. And there was one other. I remember seeing this in W.H. Smith's, and bought it, never read it. And I thought, you know what, I wouldn't mind a look at that now. Splinter of the Mind's Eye. It's written by Alan Dean Foster, who I believe wrote the novelisation of the movie Alien when that first came out. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into all of those. And I have ordered some more paperback books, which I will be showing off either next week or the week after when they arrive. So yeah, I really enjoyed that episode. I just wished I'd have made more notes on it. So let me just have a quick look, see if I've written anything at all down. No, nothing at all. So I do apologise. I've got another episode to catch up on, which was I think it dropped about 3-4 days ago, which is The Predator. Is it The Predator? Expanded media. So I'm going to be taking a look at that over the next couple of days, so I can comment on that on Sunday, and I will make some proper notes for that, so I do apologise for that. One little thing quickly before I start to wind this up. Jason K, our Ginger Ninja, you were saying on a reply to a post that I put on to do with the Incredible Melting Man being paired with the Savage Bees on a double bill in the 70s, which is where I first came across it. And you were saying that you need to check out the Savage Bees. I would love to see you do this one. Now, if you've already done this one, please forgive me, but this is a movie that somebody else posted about this morning, and I thought, blimey, I would love to watch that again. So I've dragged it down, so I'm probably going to have a watch of this at some point. The Giant Spider Invasion, one of the truly most terrible films ever made. But back in 1976, when it was released on a double bill with a David Carradine stunt fest called Carquake, that was one hell of a double bill. And this actually did not look that bad back in 1976. It was a good film. I thought it was. You watch it now, and obviously with 50 years worth of hindsight, you watch it and you think, bloody hell, did I really think that was good? But you know what? I've still got a real affection for this film. I watched it probably about 2-3 years ago and remember thinking, do you know what? I know it's rubbish, but it's really good rubbish. I quite enjoyed it. So if you get the chance to get a hold of a copy of this, I would love to see you do a review of this on your Trashy Tuesday. Just basically to see what you think of it. I'm gathering you won't have seen it when it first came out, because I wouldn't have thought you was old enough, or were you even born back then? But it was released in 1975, and I think I saw it around about 76. So yeah, the Giant Spider Invasion hopefully will appear on a Trashy Tuesday at a cinema near you soon, as he used to say. What else have I got here? Reviews coming up. I'm going to be doing separate reviews for these. I promised I'd start doing it, and I will. I actually got round to seeing the first John Wick, and I've ordered 2, 3 and 4 for a ridiculous price. So Lee will be getting this back on Monday when I'm back at work. I will do a short review of this basically after I've finished doing this. And also, I was brave enough to take this one on. I'm quite surprised I made it through it, but I did. And I'll be giving my thoughts on this very shortly as well. I think you can pretty much guess my thoughts on that. So let's see if there's anything else I've got on here that I can just kill 5 minutes with, and then I'm going to wrap it up at an hour. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes has got a release date on Blu-ray and 4K of September the 9th. That is almost certainly going to be a day one purchase. I don't want to see any more than I've seen in the trailer. That is going to be, to me, the perfect watch. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing that. I would very much like to get a hold of the 3 previous installments, the recent Planet of the Apes movies. I believe they're all on Disney Plus, so I probably won't need to buy them. But yeah, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is definitely going to be a day one purchase. I'll stick a pre-order in on Amazon to make sure I do actually get it on the day of release, and that will be a movie for whichever weekend follows, definitely. Let's see, Steve Matt, you were asking, what is it with not having any cover work on show? Because they put it on Facebook and on Amazon with no actual cover art on it. And Jason, you said, probably haven't decided yet. I think HMV wanted to be the first to put it on pre-order. I will go to HMV on release day to make sure I get one with a slip sleeve on. These slip sleeves, you love them, don't you, Jay? I made that mistake before when No Time to Die was released. Some had slip sleeves and some didn't. Guess which one I got through the post. Sod's law, innit? Steve, you said they're in such a rush to get your pre-orders nowadays. They are. It's not often that I will pre-order something. It's got to be something that I really, really want. Or if it's a limited edition and I think that they could possibly run out, I will go for it then, like I have with the Confessions movies. There was another one, I can't remember what it is, but there's another one, a box set that I've pre-ordered, but I can't remember which one it is. So I'll have to come back with that one. Let's see, what have I got here very quickly? Barbarella. One of my favourite ever movies, absolutely adore it. Apparently is getting a remake. Somebody posted a trailer probably about 2 weeks ago, which I watched and thought, yeah, not bad, I suppose. Then went on the internet to find out a little bit more about it, and apparently filming hasn't even started yet. These bloody fan-made trailers, I wish they'd stop it. I really do. It pisses me off when you watch something and you think, wow, that looks absolutely amazing, and you'll read underneath it, fan-made, and it's like, for fuck's sake, why? Why would you do that? So this remake is apparently starring Sydney Sweeney, who I don't know from Adam. I've heard the name, but I don't recall her. Whether she'll make a good Barbarella, I don't know. Nobody will ever be Barbarella for me, apart from Jane Fonda. She was just perfect. And I got to admit, when I first heard about this remake, I thought, oh God, I hope they're going to do this right. And then I heard that possibly Edgar Wright is going to be attached to it to direct. And all of a sudden I thought, maybe. I love Edgar Wright's movies. Not Zombies, Dawn of the Dead. What was it? Shaun of the Dead, the Cornetto trilogy. I loved Last Night in Soho. I just think that in the hands of somebody like Edgar Wright, we could get quite a decent remake of Barbarella, but let's see. But yeah, I can't think I can't think of anybody I'd rather see direct it than Edgar Wright. He's just a perfect fit for it. So yeah, we shall see what happens with that, and I'll keep you posted on anything else I hear about it. Right, I'm going to wrap it up, guys. I'm going to keep it under an hour. I'll be back recording again hopefully on Sunday. I've got a load of stuff here that I want to show off, but I'm going to save that for Sunday as well. I just want to get this cobbled together and upload it to YouTube for 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. So thanks ever so much for joining me. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe, all of that. Thanks ever so much for joining me and for bearing with me this week. And I will see you all again next weekend. Take care. Ta-da.